So today we'll be getting into a lot of new information and updates with Bray Wyatt's next move, and some other stories as well. For today's question of the day, would you like to see Bray have a similar character to The Fiend, where he ends up at next? Let us know your thoughts. There's a lot of new stories to discuss when it comes to Bray Wyatt, so let's break it down one by one and go through them all. Bray Wyatt took to Twitter late Monday evening, right before Raw started, to officially tease what seemed to be a new character. Bray posted an image of what appeared to be some early concept art for his next mask. Bray only posted half the concept art, but you can still get a pretty good idea of how it will look. It has the same similar evil smile that The Fiend's original mask had, but there's new lines and patterns scattered all over the face. Bray didn't provide much context besides that concept art picture, but he has done the same thing in the past, so that's what makes it easier to understand now. A few years back, he was posting early concept art of The Fiend's mask when they were first coming up with the idea, and no one knew what it meant back then. But now, when we see the new concept art, it's easier to assume that this time around, this is for the new character. WWE didn't make the masks and props for Bray Wyatt. That was all Jason Baker and his special effects team, and they're not signed or affiliated with WWE in any way at all. So the good thing is that Jason Baker and the same special effects team will follow and work with Bray wherever he decides to go. That's one big positive thing to note here. What Bray is working on now is being designed by the original creator of The Fiend's mask and the other Funhouse props. There's a deep connection already there between both sides, so it's going to be very easy for them to come up with something new considering the history they already have with each other. So yes, WWE does own the rights to The Fiend, but when it comes to some things like this, you just get a completely new mask, new character name, and maybe that's enough to bypass the entire rights dispute. Bray is just letting everyone know that he's in the lab right now, already working on something new and different. So the anticipation for his next move just continues to grow. Another report actually claimed that the August 9th edition of Raw in Orlando, Florida, was penciled in for Bray Wyatt's WWE return. August 9th was supposed to be the end to his long WWE hiatus, and he was set to return with a new twist to The Fiend and his character. The debut of the new Firefly Funhouse season he was talking about in April. Now knowing that report, it seems like Bray already had something new planned for this WWE return in August. So all he has to do now is take whatever he had planned for his WWE return and just add to his new character. That should make the process a bit easier for him. But speaking of the August 9th edition of Raw, there was a few references and mentions of Bray, both on screen and off screen. Alexa Bliss's match was met with a large amount of "We want Wyatt" chants from the live crowd. It's been a few weeks now since Bray's release, and it unfortunately seems like crowds are targeting Alexa Bliss for the Bray Wyatt chants. And we get it, everyone gets it. We all wish Bray Wyatt was never released and was back on WWE television right now, but targeting Alexa is a very weird move from the live fans. They make it seem like Alexa was the one that caused the Bray Wyatt release. It obviously wasn't her call at all. If you leave it up to Alexa, we're sure she most likely would have loved to still be working side by side with Bray right now at this very moment. But due to the resemblance to Bray's character and how WWE basically passed the gimmick down to her, it unfortunately seems like crowds will always relate Alexa to Bray and target her for those chants, which is wrong, but just seems to be the reality of everything. Bray Wyatt himself even liked a video that a fan tweeted out of the crowd chanting "We want Bray" during that Alexa Bliss match. What's even more mind-blowing, and to add insult to injury, WWE did just give the fans what they wanted, but through a clip on the Titantron. Fans in attendance for the Raw in Orlando said that the WWE aired a video clip on the big screen of Mick Foley talking about how great Bray Wyatt and The Fiend was. That actual clip played on screen for the Raw live crowd during a commercial break. So again, just very strange and weird stuff here. Have they not updated their commercial video rotation, or was that done on purpose? No one knows, but just very weird to have that clip still in your video rotation weeks after his release. And the fact that Bray did like that video of the chants during Alexa Bliss's match also has fans talking and discussing. It's crazy how liking one single tweet opens up so many discussions, but that's just how things are. Fans are now trying to break down what Bray liking the video of chants actually means. Is he in support of the chants during Alexa's matches? Does he want them to continue? Did he simply just like the tweet just to sort of let the fans know, hey, I hear you guys? That's what fans are all talking about now, but it just doesn't seem like he would be in support of those chants disrespecting other people's matches. He's basically acknowledging everyone and letting them know that he's hearing and seeing everything. That seems to be what's really going on here. But we're excited to see what the future holds for Bray Wyatt. Let's get into this interesting story with Zelina Vega. After a behind-the-scenes dispute and what was labeled as a breach of contract, Zelina Vega was released from her WWE contract in late 2020. It was a crazy story back then that actually really hit everyone out of nowhere. Zelina allegedly even showed up to the Thunderdome unaware that she had basically been fired. She reportedly asked to speak with Vince McMahon and was denied that request as well. So it was just chaos back then. But then a few months after that, Zelina was spotted at the WWE Performance Center, and it was reported that Aleister Black was filming new content for his return as well. So it seemed like her husband, Aleister Black, still being with WWE at the time, served as some leverage for WWE to re-sign Zelina instead of signing elsewhere. So maybe that was possibly mentioned to Zelina, come back and be with him on SmackDown, and she agreed to something like that. But what both of them didn't see coming was his WWE release. After 5 weeks of build-up and actually making his return to close out SmackDown, Aleister Black was released just days after in an unexpected move that had everyone confused and lost. He recently talked about this on the Talk is Jericho podcast. He had this to say: "When the release happened, Johnny Ace called me, and even he was confused. My wife was crying because she knew. She was about to come back, and one of the main reasons she wanted to come back was because I was there, which was more or less the driving force, other than the promise they made her." So you can definitely see that Zelina Vega was finessed by WWE. Come back, be with your husband on the same brand. Then, once they had her officially signed, released him. So again, just very weird moves, especially if being with him is one of the things that they used the most during contract negotiations and promised her. Like he said himself, that was the driving force behind her coming back to WWE. She could have easily gone elsewhere since she was officially released, but chose to come back mostly because her husband was with the company. WWE did finally bring Zelina Vega back to SmackDown in early July and placed her right into the Money in the Bank match. The very interesting stat: Zelina is winless since returning in July. As a matter of fact, Zelina's last win was over 300 days ago, back in September of 2020. So that's another thing that fans are starting to pick up on as well. Will they allow her to pick up a win soon? Or is this massive losing drought going to continue? But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.